The evening sun dipped behind the city skyline, painting the streets in shades of gold and gray. People hurried home after another long day, cars honking, vendors shouting, and a soft drizzle turning the pavement into mirrors. Amid the noise and motion stood a boy no older than 13, clutching a worn-out guitar with 3 missing strings. His clothes were tattered, his shoes barely holding together with tape, yet his eyes, bright and alive, held a quiet kind of hope. His name was Eli. Every night, Eli performed on a small corner near the subway entrance. Not because he dreamed of fame, but because the coins that landed in his old cap were the only thing keeping him and his sick mother from sleeping hungry. He would sing beneath the flickering street lamp, his voice rising above the hum of traffic, a voice so pure, it made even the tired workers slow their steps. But most people didn't stop. They were too busy, too distracted. Just another street boy, they thought. Another voice swallowed by the noise of life. Still, Eli sang. His songs were stories, about love, about loss, about dreams that refused to die. His favorite was one his mother taught him, a lullaby she used to hum when times were better. Her voice had faded over the years, but Eli carried her melody like a treasure. That night, as he sang, a group of men in polished shoes laughed nearby, pointing at him. "Hey, kid, you think you're a superstar or something?" One of them jeered. Eli smiled softly. "No, sir. Just singing for my mom." They laughed again and walked away. When his song ended, only a few coins clinked in the cap. Eli knelt, counting them carefully, whispering a quiet prayer of thanks before running home through the rain. Home wasn't much, just a small wooden room behind an alley, where his mother lay on an old bed, coughing softly. Her name was Maria, and her strength was fading. "Did you sing tonight?" she asked, her voice weak but warm. Eli nodded. "Yes, Mama." People listened. "I think, one day they'll really hear me." She smiled faintly, brushing his wet hair from his forehead. "They will, my son. Your voice is a gift, don't ever stop using it." That night, as the rain tapped against the roof, Eli sat by her side, humming her favorite song until she fell asleep. He didn't know it yet, but the song that kept his mother alive in spirit would soon change his life forever. A week later, Eli saw a bright poster glued to the wall outside a bakery. It read, "National Youth Talent Competition, open auditions this Sunday. Winner receives $50,000 and a recording contract." Eli froze. $50,000, that was more than enough to buy medicine, food, maybe even a real home. But as he looked down at his broken shoes and old guitar, doubt crept in. Kids on TV had fancy clothes, professional equipment, and coaches. He had none of that. Still, his mother's words echoed in his heart. "Your voice is a gift, don't ever stop using it." So, he made up his mind. He spent the next 2 days cleaning his guitar, patching his clothes, and rehearsing every note. He didn't care if people laughed, this was his one shot. On Sunday morning, he took 2 buses, without a ticket, smiling nervously at the driver who looked the other way. The audition hall was massive. Hundreds of kids filled the waiting area, some with expensive instruments, some with makeup artists, others scrolling through social media. Eli stood quietly in the corner, hugging his guitar like a lifeline. When his number was called, he stepped onto the stage. The bright lights blinded him for a second. A panel of judges sat in front, 3 faces that looked both kind and intimidating. "What's your name, young man?" the middle judge asked. "Eli, sir. I sing on the streets." A few people in the audience chuckled, but Eli didn't flinch. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and began to sing his mother's lullaby. The room fell silent. His voice was raw, trembling, but full of soul. Every note carried pain, love, and an innocence that words couldn't express. The judges leaned forward. The laughter in the back vanished. When he finished, there wasn't a sound, until one judge slowly stood and began to clap. Then another. Then everyone. Tears streamed down faces. Even the toughest producers wiped their eyes. The host, stunned, whispered, "Ladies and gentlemen, I think we just witnessed something truly extraordinary. Eli's journey had just begun."